Fifth page is my fourth part of the My Story, and that is communal or town or whatever that wherever you grew up, the story of that. And I know it's supposed to be kind of a positive figure, and I do think that for most of my life, up until recently, Lance Armstrong, who is from Plano, where I'm from, was the perfect representation of of a success story. And I, it's sad what has happened to him, but it'll be very difficult for me to remove the positive connotations that I have associated with Lance Armstrong. He he to me was a huge role model growing up, and doing a lot of athletics and just his fight with cancer, which I still think is amazing. And I mean, even he is a cheater, but to cheat, there a lot of people did it, and he still was just unbelievable. Um, in terms of my emblem, I think that my city is is a little on the darker side of the emblem. There's a lot more struggle and a lot more um, pain, I guess, than is emblematic of or is in my symbol, my emblem. Um, Plano West is a town that has a lot of wealthy kids. In the 80s, it had the highest suicide rate in the nation. I might think it's still up there for teens. The 90s started having a huge heroin problem, and we became, unfortunately, nationally known for our heroin um, problems with teens who at the time didn't know that Chiva was heroin and what they didn't know what they were buying, but they were already hooked on it. And then in the 2000s, it was designer drugs, and I think now they have an ecstasy problem, and just a lot of kids who have a lot of their parents' money and a lot of problems. But for me, the story is one of I find the optimism in it, in that if you can find your way above all that in Plano, the opportunities are amazing and great. And if you are persistent, then the struggle is totally worth it, and it prepares you for college. With Plano, it's really not. Especially, I went to Plano West. Lance Armstrong went to Plano East, which is kind of far away. But with my experience with Plano West, it wasn't what college are you going to. It was, or not if you're. I feel like a lot of places the question is, let me rephrase this, if you're going to college or not, and here the question was where you're going to college. I was never once in the mindset of thinking of the option of not going to college. It was always, well, where am I going to go? Um, it's a really sad story. A lot of Plano is, um, a lot of Planoites have a lot of sad stories. I've known a lot of people that have died um, from unnecessary, unnecessarily. I only mentioned one of them in here. Again, I did that drawing of Lance because he was a hero of mine, and I heard so many stories about him. He was everywhere, especially after the testicular and brain and lung cancer, and he's just come back from that, and then he became one of the most popular athletes in the world to one of the most least popular athletes in the world, and I think it's just a big encompassment of Plano and what the potential the city has and what destructive potential the city has.